Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 52 of Serendipity. This one's titled Stranger at Reception. With a lot of excited chatter, your bridesmaids ushered their male partners along, calling ahead to you to check and make sure you were okay. I'm fine, you called back with a smile when one of your girls asked if you needed water. You looked back ahead and then looked at Deku, who was captivated by you. He wasn't even looking where he was going. He was just gazing lovingly at you the whole time, and you smiled bashfully. Stop it, you giggled softly, nudging his arm with your shoulder as you walked. You're just so beautiful, Yin. I can't help but stare at you, he replied with a soft smile, his beautiful large eyes shining with love. I'm so happy you're mine. Of course, Mr. Midoriya, he replied with a playful smile. And to you, Mrs. Midori. His face flushed pink, and he grabbed for a curly lock of his fringe and tugged on it, pulling it down to his eyes as he became flustered over calling you Mrs. Midoriya. We're married now, you giggled. You're going to have to practice saying my legally wedded name. He gave you a wobbly smile. It's just so... Okay, everyone, the photographer called to the small group that approached him. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Midoriya have given me a list of pictures that they want from today, so let's get to it so we can get them all taken before the reception. As he started detailing the first picture, your bridesmaids ran around you, fixing up your hair and makeup and reapplying your lipstick so that you'd look picture perfect. Okay, does everyone understand? The photographer asked. Everyone nodded and got into position around you and Deku, looking at you with pretend shocked looks on their faces while the photographer called for you and your husband to kiss. Ooh, your girls cooed from behind you, making you giggle. Tongue, where's a tongue action? One called. Stop, you laughed, pulling back from the kiss. One more kiss, the photographer called, setting up again for the next picture. Kiss me like you mean it, you whispered to Deku, just before your lips touched his, and he gripped you and bent you backwards a bit as you both really went for a deep kiss, tongue kissing in front of your bridal party and the photographer. That looked real, Todoroki commented from behind Deku. He'd been watching very intently. Ah, Deku replied with a flustered look on his face as he pulled back. It's just that the photographer wanted it to look like it was real, so... Perfect, the photographer called. Now, girls, come with me for a few pictures, then I'll take photos of the boys. Deku let you go with your bridesmaids, watching you as you walked away, looking radiant and gorgeous. She is beautiful, Midoriya, Todoroki commented to the newly wedded male, who was watching you the whole time. She is, isn't she? Deku replied with a dreamy sigh, still mesmerized by you. When's the reception? Bakugo growled with his iconic scowl. It'll be soon, Kachan, Deku replied with a sweat-dropped smile as his eyes flicked from you to the grumpy male. They'd better have curry there. I made sure they had it on the menu, Deku replied the blonde groomsman quickly. Don't pander to my husband's demands, the voice of Mrs. Bakugo said as she walked up to the boys, overhearing the conversation. Oh, Mrs. Bakugo, Deku greeted politely. It's fine. I know how much Kachan likes curry. This isn't his wedding, though, she chuckled. It's yours. Many congratulations, by the way. Oh, thank you, Deku said with a polite bow. I'm so honoured to have Yin by my side forever. She's a very lovely person. You've done well, Mrs. Bakugo added. Aside from congratulating you, I wanted to let you know that I'm going to take Kat back to our place so he can settle in. Chi is going to have so much fun playing with him while you're on your honeymoon. Thank you for offering to look after him. He loves Chisuke, Deku replied, remembering the mini Bakugo commanding his dog during the service. Chi needs a nap too, Mrs. Bakugo added to her husband. He's been a right pain in the ass, so hopefully he'll nap in the car going home and back. I'll be back for the reception, and hopefully he'll be happily awake by then. Bakugo grunted, pulling his wife into his arms and kissing her roughly on the lips. Go, and come back soon. Yeah, I won't be long. Call me if anything happens, Bakugo added gruffly. She nodded again and headed back to the building. Bakugo watched her leave with a softer look in his eye. You love her very much, Kachan, Deku said gently when he saw how Bakugo changed when his wife was around. Yeah? What of it? Bakugo grunted. Nothing. I just think she's very nice. Bakugo made a down and looked away, allowing himself to smile at the fact that he had the most gorgeous wife in the place. While Mrs. Bakugo was driving to her house and back, and Jen was getting Soshi to sleep in the stroller, the rest of the photos were taken, and then you, Deku and the bridal party headed to the building on site to start the reception. The guests were all inside already and stood when the wedding party was announced on entrance, each pair waving as they were called in, and then walking through the tables that were set up and sitting at the long wedding table at the front of the hall. Finally, it was your and Deku's turn to enter, and you and he grinned from ear to ear as he walked in, waving to everyone. Making your way to the table, he pulled your chair out and helped you sit, then sat down in the chair beside you. The day was almost done, and you took a second to really take in the atmosphere of the room. All the guests were there. You knew them all by name. You'd gone over that damn list so many times, rearranging people and making minute adjustments so that everyone would be happy and enjoy the evening. Your eyes roamed the middle table and you spotted someone halfway along that you didn't recognise at all. Who was in that spot, you thought, racking your brain to try and remember. That's the mutuals table, isn't it? If they're a mutual friend of Izuku's and mine, then why don't I recognise them? Who was supposed to be there? The two MCs got up to start the reception, and while they talked you sat there staring at this foreign person on the middle table. Deku sensed something was wrong and looked at you. Oh, something's amiss. That was the end of chapter 52. Stay tuned for chapter 53 coming tomorrow.